When you can be mindful and raise your awareness, your relationship with God levels up every time.
Hey, what's good with you? Thanks for hopping in the car with Christian Addiction Recovery, the channel where like-minded individuals that face similar struggles can come so that we can learn and discuss new ways to live our best life possible and overall become the best versions of ourselves. So, it's really easy to kind of look at me all put back together and hear me talk and talk about recovery and everything like that and just think, oh, well, this guy's got it together. Like, he's been living in recovery, now he has no problems, everything's going good. Well, that that's not true. Okay? Take my kids for instance. I love them so much. They were literally my whole universe when they were in my life. And their mother has used them a time or two to or taken them away from me, and it's really crushed my spirit and everything when that has happened in the past. So this last time that it happened, it really destroyed me again, like it always has, and I've overdosed not too long afterward and made it to a rehab. And after leaving that rehab, I realized that I really had to leave that behind and leave and just let God bring my kids back to my life because I just couldn't afford the lawyers. I just couldn't afford to fight anymore. So I just had to trust God. And that is uncomfortable in itself, just trusting God. It's uncomfortable for the flesh. Okay. And so it's not necessarily real easy to be dealing with what I'm dealing with. I haven't seen my kids in 5 years. I love them so much, and I would give up everything I possibly could to see them and to have them in my life, you know. And so that's a negative thing that's still going on in my life. I haven't seen my kids. So having to trust God with that and being uncomfortable, that's another thing that's I could focus on that negatively. I mean, even though you're trusting God, if you're not trusting him with a good attitude, you can still kind of trust him like complaining, like, oh God, why? I mean, I guess I have no other choice but to trust you, God, right? So it takes effort to trust God with that good attitude and that grateful heart. Another thing that is terrible in my life, if I wanted to focus on it, is my credit and my inability to get a loan for a car, a house. I mean, God totally made a way for me to have this house that I currently have through owner financing. And he's helping me clean up my credit, and hopefully in 2 years when I have to make this balloon payment, I'll have good enough credit to get the loan in my name and everything like that. So that's what I could focus on. I could focus on how terrible my credit is and how I haven't made the right decisions and how I've destroyed my financial future, right? Another thing I could focus on is the fact that since leaving Texas, I have had not one acquaintance, friend, whatever you want to call them, people that I used to call family, reach out to me. I have had one reach back out to me after I called them. And then I did have one reach out a couple years later after the hurricane, just wanted to make sure I was alive. And trust me, I appreciate both of those calls a lot. But I could focus on how I pretty much was disowned by them and abandoned by them. I don't care. I had to come to a place. God had to get me to a place where I didn't care about those kind of things, and so I could detach from these things that kind of distract us from a relationship with God. And I used friendships and other people's drama and things like that to distract me from having to work on myself. But not any longer. Obviously that's why I'm making these videos. But the whole point is I could focus on not having the friends, or I could focus on the fact that I get to make friends now that I can make with a wise decision maker up here. I don't know, that didn't sound right. So I can make those decisions wisely when I invite people into my life. When I was younger, it was kind of reactionary and just kind of, well, hey, this person likes me. I mean, this person thinks I'm cool. I'm in that group. But now I have a smarter thinker up here. Didn't sound like it when I said those words, smarter thinker. But I've been through some experience, and I've learned how to use that experience and turn it into wisdom. So I could focus on not having the friends, or I could focus on the fact that all of the things that I've learned and the ability to make these new friends, right? And I can restructure my life. I could focus on having to leave Texas and saying, "Oh man, I got to start back over at 40 and all of this," or I can look at it and say, "Man, you get a clean slate. You get to start over and rewrite your history with these people." And that's amazing. So I could focus on one, I could focus on the negative, or I could focus on the positive. I could focus on the bad credit, or I could focus on the fact that I'm actually getting credit and I'm actually learning how to establish it and I'm cleaning up some of those things in my past. I could focus on losing the second house I ever bought and just losing everything and starting back over from scratch. Or I can focus on the fact that within 2 years of just trusting God, He's given me a better car than I've ever had, and He's given me a house that has much more equity than I ever had in those other houses, and ownership. He's given me things that I can be proud of, and not obviously not in a bad pride way, but I can give glory to God. Look at what God has done for me. Look what He's done for me, and if He can do this for me after I turned my back and ran off on Him for so many years, then what can He do for you? What can He do for you? He can do the same. He can do more. Our God is infinitely abundant in His blessings. And with the friends, I could focus on the fact that they don't call me, or I could focus on the fact, like I said, that I get to choose who I'm allowing in my life and who I spend my time and my attention on. So by focusing on all those negative things and those things that I don't have or the things that I wish I would have done better, I'm just inviting negative energy and negative emotion into my life. And I'm inviting that in to be a part of these new neural pathways that I'm making these days. And that's not why I moved to Florida. I moved to Florida to completely reprogram my brain and rewire my mind and reconfigure my existence. And God has helped me do that so much. I am so blessed, and I'm just so honored that I get a chance to even just share with these 10 or 20 people that watch this video that God is not done with you. But you have to stop focusing on all the negative things that are going on in your life and all the things you don't have. Focus on the things you're grateful for. I've done a video before. Maybe I'll try to find a link for it if I can, and I'll put it in the description down there. But I was talking about how when you show an expression of gratitude, the chemicals in your brain release the feel-good chemicals in your brain release, and then the dopamine chemical gets released also, and that's the motivator. That's the one that helps you go look for more of that thing. And when you show an expression of gratitude, then your brain is searching for more things to be grateful for so it can get another hit of those feel goods. So focus on that. Focus on what you're grateful for. And you will start inviting positive energy and positive emotion into your life to reprogram. If you're probably watching this, you probably know somebody or you yourself are trying to either recover from an addiction or depression, or you can use all of these same things that we talk about on this channel just to level up, just to get a little bit more mentally healthy. Because here's the thing, when you can become more mentally healthy, when you can become more aware of what's around you, aware of yourself, aware of what God's telling you, when you can be mindful and you can raise your awareness, golly, I can't talk. When you can be mindful and raise your awareness, your relationship with God levels up every time. And through my practicing of meditation and learning mindfulness, and again, when I talk meditation, I don't do chants or anything like that. I just learn how to control my thoughts by putting my attention on the present moment. And even when my brain wanders, I bring it on back. Present moment. So God has so much more for you. He has levels, unending. And He came to give us life and life more abundantly here on this earth. We don't have to wait till we get to heaven. As a matter of fact, He'd prefer that we don't. He'd prefer that we just accept His blessings and all that He's giving us so that we can show others how good our God is. But you have to stop focusing on the negative and all the things you can't do. Because there's always going to be things you can't do, and there's always going to be negative forces in your life, no matter how good you're doing. So don't focus on those. If you continue to focus on the good, then you are going to continue to go in that direction. It's up to you. God has given us so much, but it is up to us to actually participate in the receiving of these blessings. So hey, if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel, okay? I promise all the videos that I do are going to be uplifting and edifying to your spirit and your soul. And hopefully I can give you some knowledge and wisdom that you can impart in your own life. And you can have that level up in your relationship with God that I've been experiencing over the last 2 years. And I know that I'm just barely scratching the surface. Smash the like if you think I did a good job talking about how you need to stay away from negative thoughts. And smash the dislike or leave a comment below if you think that I could have done it better. I know I have ADD and my mind's so sometimes I don't reconnect those thoughts. But I'm really trying. But all your comments and your feedback really helps me so that I can adjust and make improvements. I'm trying to grow. You know, I do not think that I have made it. I think that I'm on the trampoline getting my first bounce, you know? All right. That's it. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, comment below. See you next time. Peace.